Hi, this is Leroy Davis here again, Commander Davis rather, and we're here with another episode of Veterans View on this beautiful sunny day in Phoenix City, Alabama. And today we're here at Tender Loving Care Veteran Outreach, and we have Miss Jean Keel, the director of Tender Loving Care. Jean, tell us something about yourself first, your military service, and then about Tender Loving Care Outreach.
My name is Reverend Dr. Jean Keel. I'm retired military sergeant first class, and I started Tender Loving Care in 1991 in Columbus. There was a growing need to help homeless veterans. So we started the first transitional program in Columbus for homeless vets. We operated about 10 years, and then we realized that the veterans were homeless mostly for lack of benefits and medical needs, which psychiatric and other needs. So we decided to do an outreach, and we came over into Phoenix City and transitioned into an outreach for veterans. What we do here is help veterans with their compensation benefits. We help widows and orphans of veterans. And what we do, we come here to complete. We're not competitive with the DAV, VFW, any of those other organizations. We just come to complete, not compete. So we are here. We've been here for over 18 months at this location, and we take our veterans in and find out what they're missing, how to navigate the system to get their total benefits. And we also incorporate the widows whose husbands have passed on, and they have tried for years to get their assistance. And last year we won over $300,000 for our widows of veterans.
Okay, thank you, Jean. And what we want to do is eventually we want to move to the inside so we can see the inside of your operation. And we see that you have the American flag out here, so you're easy to find.
Yes.
You have the POW flag out here.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else that you want to tell us about navigating the VA system, about any new programs that
Yes.
like President Trump just initiated a new program for the claim process.
Yes.
Would you tell us something about that?
Yes, that's called the RAMP program. It's a rapid assessment of your claim, and President Trump made a promise to eliminate the lengthy process of veterans waiting 5 years for a reevaluation or reconsideration or a traditional appeal. This process takes 125 days. It does not start until February. It's a pilot program, but it is something that's workable for our veterans because their claims will be decided within 125 days. And in the process, they cannot go back to the traditional appeal. So this helps many veterans to get their funding, their benefits much earlier than waiting 4 to 5 years for an appeal.
Okay, thank you. Now, as we move to the house and we discuss different things, because you have a lot of tables set up with literature, handout, and everything,
Yes.
and you have individuals in there that can sit down and interview
Yes.
veterans. But what we want veterans to know, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see my telephone number, which is 706-718-4440. You can call me for help, and I will refer you to Jean. And Jean, would you tell us your phone number?
Okay, our phone number is 334-297-2696. That's our phone number to the office.
Great. Now we're going to move on the inside and look around and just talk about all the different stuff on the inside of this building and when you help veterans. Now, Jean, tell us, this is the entrance to Tender Loving Care, and I see you have a lot of pictures, a lot of history. So just tell us a little bit about the history that we see on the walls.
Okay. First off, we are a 501c3 organization. I may have failed to mention that. We are a nonprofit organization chartered in the state of Alabama. We are certified. We have license to the city of Phoenix City to do nonprofit services for veterans. This is the history of TLC. We started out with the homeless shelters and transitional facilities in 1991. And we transitioned into the outreach. We received the Community Service Award from Sanford Bishop in 1996 in Atlanta for the best transitional program in the state of Georgia. But Georgia wasn't as receptive, so we came to Alabama. We've had food pantries for our veterans. Like I said, we have the street outreach to our homeless vets, and we have been incorporated since 1991, providing services.
And one of the other things that I want veterans to understand is that Tender Loving Care and myself being the director of the Chattahoochee Valley Veterans Organization and the Russell County Veterans Organization, we're going to team up and partner up to
Absolutely.
take care of our veterans because you can do more when it's more working together.
Absolutely.
Now, get a shot of this young lady here. I think she served in the United States Army.
Yes.
Is that you, Jim?
That's me. I had just become one of the first instructors at the drill sergeant school at Fort Knox. I worked for the commandant. I did the processing of international students and international visitors. I would go in and tell them the history of the drill sergeant school at Fort Knox, Kentucky.
And that's great because the more experience in the military, the easier it is to work with veterans and help them.
Absolutely.
So, what is this room, Gene?
This room here is our reception room. This is where our clients come in and they can, all these rooms here now were donated by other veterans. This room was donated by one of our Vietnam vets, all the equipment in here, so that our veterans could come in and have a nice place to sit. Not a place like, some of these places you come in. We want our veterans to know that they are special. So we have our resources over here. We normally have them on the table. Someone just moved it. We have resources with all the different agencies within Alabama and Georgia. We want them to be linked up to the VA Medical Center. We want them to know about Social Security. We have the Medicare Advantage there. We want them to know these things to complete them. Because, once they get their benefits, it's not just about the money, it's about being a good steward. So what we do is we complete our veterans.
In other words, we're making them whole.
We're making them whole.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And then when you say donate a room, you mean that a veteran say, here's the furniture for
Here's
this
the
room.
furniture for all of this, and this was donated to us by a veteran.
Okay, thanks. Now let's move around and see some of the rest of the building.
Okay. Now this area here is a special recognition and honor to our Vietnam vets. I am a Vietnam era veteran. I was a combat medic during Vietnam with the 9th Infantry Division, Fort Lewis, Washington. And then I went on to be a combat medic with the 25th Infantry Division. So I have a special compassion for Vietnam vets. And this wall here is donated to all the forces, Navy, Marines, Army, Air Force, that served during Vietnam. And this is the wall. This is the Vietnam Wall in Washington, D.C. And we are also partners, as you see on this side. We commemorate the Vietnam War, and we received the Commemorative Partner Award from the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Defense for the Vietnam Veterans Commemoration. So what we do, every Vietnam veteran that comes through here receive a certificate and a pen from us, because we want to say welcome home, and some of them have never heard that. And what we do, again, we try to complete these veterans.
Okay, that is great because I know I've done one of those as well, and those Vietnam veterans really deserve it because they had eggs thrown on them and tomatoes and everything.
Couldn't wear their uniform.
Exactly, couldn't wear the uniform, and nobody said welcome home. So we're changing all of that,
Yes, sir.
and we're just going to try to keep uplifting our veterans. But also I want to mention, as well as we try and help veterans and make them complete or make them whole, we also want to move them into a deeper relationship with Christ.
That's right.
So
We are ministry.
we are truly doing great things, and we will continue to work as a team. Now, anything else you want to show us?
We have the history here of the Vietnam War, and we have the
Let's step to the
proclamations.
side so the cameraman
Okay.
can get a little shot of that.
This is a military nurse. I was a nurse during the Vietnam War and a combat medic. I went from a medic to an AMASIS, which is a physician's assistant. So this was a dedication to some of the nurses in the Vietnam War. We also did the African Americans in the Vietnam War, because not many of them were recognized for their services. And then we have the proclamations from Columbus, Georgia, where we had the first transitional facility. We were recognized by Mayor Bobby Peters and Mayor Martin.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, great. And one other thing I know you got in here, because I can smell the food, and so that's the kitchen. Now, you want to show us that
go ahead,
area?
you wanna go here?
Well, we go here first then.
Okay. I want to introduce my great team,
Okay.
because without the team, I wouldn't be here. Okay? A team, this is our team. We believe in teamwork. These are all volunteers. I want to say this now. None of these people receive labor pay. These are all volunteers.
Okay.
Mrs. Hood is the only one that receives pay from Easter Seals. She's the Easter Seals worker.
Okay, great.
She's in the senior program for
Okay.
Easter Seals. This is my administrative assistant.
Mildred Wyatt.
Okay.
Volunteer. Okay.
PEN.
Brother.
Wait.
Well, he's
Brother
working right
Willis
now,
Stevens?
so we won't bother him. He's
Yeah.
working.
This
so.
is when I govern more veterans.
He's
a veteran.
Okay.
Okay.
And
And
we'll
this is
move
our
on.
room. When our veterans come in,
Oh, here, Mr.
we have a board which we put the order of priority for all our veterans. If they are sick, have cancer, or older veterans, we expedite. Those are automatically expedites because of their illness or.
So we're just like the VA. We
Yeah.
basically put if they're in their late 70s,
Yes.
we put them in an expedited position, which we
absolutely.
try to take care of them within 90
Absolutely.
days and get them their benefit.
Absolutely.
That's great. A lot of organizations don't do
No, we
that.
have
So
to.
I'm glad to hear that you are doing that.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
and we can go to the kitchen now because we don't want to continue to disturb them as they work.
I was in the Women's Army Corps. I was a WAC. And we transitioned into the Volot Army after 1975, but I was a part of the Women's Army Corps. And that was at
Okay.
Fort McClellan, Alabama.
All right, great.
Which will be another story.
Okay,
This is our kitchen. I make sure that my volunteers, I feel like them as volunteers, we take care of them. We make sure they eat. Veterans come in, they're welcome to eat. This is like a home. You know, the veterans still come in and they just drop in just to see us or sit here and eat with us and fellowship. Because, you know, that's what the Bible talks about.
Right.
Fellowship. Eating together is fellowship.
Great.
So that's what we do. We help. If they come in, they're welcome to eat lunch with us at any time.
okay. You know, that is great. And one of the things, like I said, we want to team up together and
Yes.
work because it's more easier to take care of veterans when we're working together.
That's right.
And we can get out in the community and
Absolutely.
get some work and get with some of these churches out here because there's a lot of veterans in Russell County and Phoenix City, Alabama. We have a lot of churches that have a lot of veterans,
Yeah.
and we need to get people involved in understanding what we do.
Absolutely.
And eventually, I hope that we'll be able to transition as we grow into helping our students as far as educating them.
Absolutely.
And hopefully we can do fundraisers and give out some $500 or $1,000 scholarship because we can do it. We fought for this country. Now we need to help grow this country and train our future leaders. So that's what I mean when I say give out scholarship. We need to help our top students, or our
Yeah.
students period, get into school because we have to look out for our future. In the Navy, we call it train your relief, but we want to call it training our future.
Well, you had to have some what they call predecessors, someone to go after you. That's why I'm training someone in my office that this is going to be my legacy.
Exactly.
Because I'm not here forever. So you have to train them up.
Tomorrow is not promised.
That's right.
Well, we want to thank you for tuning in to another episode of Veterans View right here in beautiful downtown Phoenix City, Alabama. And if you see our show and you like it, please let us know. But you have the phone numbers at the bottom of your screen. If you are a veteran or widow who needs assistance,
Yes.
please don't hesitate to call my number, which is 706-718-4440, or Dr. Keel's number, which is
334-297-2696. And it's never too late. People tell you, well, it's been 7 years, you can't file a claim. That's not true. And if it's a clear, unmistakable error, there's no time limit. And widows, we won a widow claim. Her husband had been deceased 32 years.
So please use these phone numbers. Call us. If you don't do anything but call us and say, I like your show, call us because we want to keep doing everything we can for our veterans, for their widowers, and for their children.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching Veterans View.